to Invest Insights. I'm Abby Maloney. I'm joined today by Dee Odell, the Executive Vice President for Consumer and Business Banking for the East Region for U.S. Bank. Dee, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Abby. It is a delight to be with you today.
Dee, you're a huge proponent of community engagement, lending your support to organizations like the United Way, the YMCA, the Leading on Opportunity Council, and the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Community Foundation. As busy as you already are with the bank, why is it so important for you, and for all leaders for that matter, to make time to serve the community? And how does this community involvement translate to your leadership style at the bank?
Yeah, Abby, I think it is critically important that all of us as leaders, as active members of our community, to be involved. And for me, I think about this in the evolution of my engagement. Originally, I was involved as a volunteer because it was the right thing to do. And I wanted to have an impact, in a very specific way. And over time, I saw the ability to be a part of organizations that were having a much bigger impact in our community and changing systems and structures to drive outcomes. And more recently, I've really come to appreciate how that engagement has changed me. By being in proximity to people whose life experiences are different than mine, it has expanded my appreciation and understanding. And I think I'm a better leader today because of the ways that I have been engaged in community with people, a variety of different people from different backgrounds and experiences. And so all of those pieces come together, our ability to have a direct impact, to be a part of a collective impact, and then to grow as individuals and leaders.
And Dee, how would you assess Charlotte's talent pool for the banking industry? And what are some creative ways that you've been able to attract and maintain top-tier employees at U.S. Bank?
Yeah, Abby, so if I think back over the arc of U.S. Bank's expansion in Charlotte, we began with a very small group in Charlotte. And over the years, we have found that there were jobs that we needed to fill at U.S. Bank that frankly, even pre-pandemic, could have been filled anywhere in the country, and the talent was in Charlotte. And so 13 years ago, when I joined the bank in Charlotte, I was the first banker. Today, we have over 1,000 employees in Charlotte. And the common denominator is that there is tremendous talent in Charlotte, and we've been able to recruit that talent. So the second part of your question really is, how do we do that? And part of it is really conveying our culture, our core values. And that is a value proposition to be able to explain to people, that our core operating principle, our purpose, is to invest our hearts and minds to power human potential, and to really help people understand that their role within U.S. Bank is all about helping us achieve that goal of helping other people with their potential. I think those core values have really been a key element of how we have attracted talent to U.S. Bank.
And shifting gears slightly, how is U.S. Bank interacting differently with its customers now than it has in the past, given the accelerated drive to digital over the course of the pandemic? And in what ways is both the bank and customers benefiting from this new approach?
Yeah. So Abby, we talk a lot about the intersection of digital and human. And the pandemic accelerated our engagement with digital tools. Today, U.S. Bank has the #1 rated app in banking. We have leading tools for our consumers to use. Over 90% of what one typically would do in a branch, you can do on our app. And over 80% of transactions are done digitally today. But at the same time that we are investing so heavily in digital and empowering people to be able to bank wherever they want, whenever they want, and the way that they want, we also have this really critical element of the human connection, right? And that is so important, because as you are finding your way on your own personal financial journey, or as a small business, and you are planning out your next steps, it is so helpful to know that at any point along the way, you've got talented people that you can reach out to. And so we are emphasizing that intersection of the human and the digital. Part of it is even greater, technology there, so that, for example, we can co-browse with people. If you're looking at our app and you're confused or you have a question, you can connect with a banker who can see exactly where you are and guide you on how to take those next steps in the app. And in fact, if you want to see the person you are communicating with, you can have a video of them in the midst of that co-browse. And so that's one great example of this intersection of human and digital.
And another aspect of digital is fintech. And fintech is no longer an emerging technology, but an entrenched staple of banking, especially given the desire among many customers for a digital footprint. Many large banks themselves have adopted fintech elements. How is the line blurring between what is considered a traditional bank and what is considered fintech? And how do you see that line eventually disappearing?
Yeah. So we are living in a time of tremendous innovation right now. And that innovation is coming from fintechs who have, a very specific idea. It is coming from banks who are adapting very, very quickly to the needs of their clients. We think about this in a couple of ways. One, we are creating proprietary technology that we're using. Two, we are partnering with various fintechs who've got a great solution and utilizing that as part of what we're doing. And third, we're acquiring various fintechs that we think fit very well into the ecosystem that we're creating. And so I think the fintech innovation is driving something, broader for banks as well. I do think that there is a unique role that banks play. The breadth of services and products that we offer, our ability to be in the physical, and then as we were talking about earlier, this intersection of the human with digital is a unique aspect that banks bring to the table here. I think we're going to continue to see blurring of the lines here. I do think that the winning companies in this are those who figure out how to provide exactly what their clients need in that moment, and it is a sustainable engagement.
And Dee, as we round out our discussion today, what role does creativity play in remaining competitive in today's landscape?
Yeah, Abby, I think creativity and ideation is incredibly important today. Some of our best ideas come from our bankers who are interacting directly with clients, who see an opportunity for us to do something differently, to do it better. And that creativity and that ideation is incredibly important in how we can then respond to those opportunities in the marketplace. It's also really important for companies to have the right sort of structure, the right avenues for those ideas to come up and be evaluated and decide how do we prioritize, how do we invest in the places that are going to give us the greatest impact. Creativity in the innovation that we see across the industry right now is incredibly important. And I think it will simply continue to grow.
Well, thank you very much, Dee. I appreciate our conversation.
Abby, it has been a pleasure to talk with you today. Thank you.
Well, that was Dee Odell, the Executive Vice President for Consumer and Business Banking for U.S. Bank's Eastern Region. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to hear more CEOs and thought leaders share their opinions and advice on today's business climate. Until next time, I'm Abby Maloney, and this has been Invest Insights. Thanks for tuning in.